Neil Ratner Rock Talk here on WDST Radio Woodstock with another episode of This Week in Rock with support from Transcendental and my friend, the amazing dentist and rock star Bruce Milner. Visit Transcendental, his stunning new office at 2 Maverick Road on the corner of Maverick Road and Route 375. On May 16, 1966, the Beach Boys released the album Pet Sounds, a record which revolutionized music production and has consistently ranked number 2 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. Brian Wilson was determined to make a complete statement, similar to what he believed the Beatles had done with their newest album, Rubber Soul, released in December 1965. Often called a pocket symphony, Pet Sounds incorporates elements of pop, jazz, exotica, classical, and the avant-garde. Wilson's orchestrations were his version of Phil Spector's Wall of Sound and mixed conventional rock with elaborate layers of vocal harmonies and included instruments rarely, if ever, associated with rock, such as bicycle bells, French horn, flutes, electro-theremin, string sessions, and even soda cans. Although not originally a big seller, Pet Sounds was enormously influential from the moment of its release. Paul McCartney declared that no one is educated musically till they've heard that album. Asked in a 1968 interview about the Beatles' role in rock's progress toward an art form, Led Zeppelin founder Jimmy Page responded, "I think the Beach Boys tried to do it first. I think there were lots of Beach Boy things on the Revolver album, especially the vocal harmony. Wilson really said a lot in his Pet Sounds album." The song, God Only Knows, is often praised as one of the greatest songs of all time. The song was co-written by Tony Asher, an advertising copywriter and lyricist, and as Tony relates, it was a chance meeting with Brian Wilson that led to their collaboration.
We met because I went to a recording session for some jingles that I had to record. And I somehow came upon Brian at, like the water cooler or the coffee machine or something. And I was in the hallways and there was Brian Wilson. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's Brian Wilson. So I said to him something really original, like, "You're Brian Wilson."
I talked with him.
And he said, "Hey, come here and listen to something." Now, that's the kind of thing Brian does.
And I said, "You have a very, very good gift of gab,
If we were in the studio today and he was working on something and we just appeared in the hallway, he would say, "Hey, you guys want to listen to something?" I mean, he did it with the FedEx guy who would come to the door and he'd be mixing something or whatever. And then he'd take the thing and he'd slide. He'd say, "Oh, wait, come back. Tell me what you think of this."
I love it.
And at first you would say, "Brian, the guy's a FedEx man. I mean, what are you doing? He doesn't really know anything about music." But then you stop and you say, "Wait a second. That's his audience. His audience is everybody."
Right.
Is every man. So why shouldn't he ask the FedEx guy? He feels like an ordinary guy, which is one of the reasons that so much of his music appeals to ordinary guys,
I said, "Would you like to write a song with me?" And he said, "Yeah." So we came over to my house and we wrote God Only Knows. He wrote the lyrics and I wrote the music. We did it in 45 minutes. It came faster than any other song I ever wrote.
Okay, let's listen. From Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys and God Only Knows.